Hey, welcome back to the Mr. Excel Netcast. I'm Bill Jelly. Basically, you start out with massive amounts of data. You say, how are we going to analyze this? Well, let's fire up a pivot table and see if we can solve this problem.
Hey, welcome back to the Mr. Excel Netcast. I'm Bill Jellin. Today a question sent in by Tamir. Tamir has a chart that shows data for each point, and Tamir would like to label this chart between the columns. Between each column, he wants the delta between these two items. And so in real life, we would use Rob Bovey's XY chart labeler. Go out to appspro.com, download this, and Rob lets you use any range for the labels, and he lets you put it to the right of the point, and that would have worked out great. I do have an approach for this, though, and it's one of these tricks that we use with charts a lot, where we create an invisible series. So we have our data here, and I'm going to include one extra column. I'm going to include the delta column. So here's my set of deltas, and you see what we get is we get a red column between each blue column. Now I want to make these wider, and so I'm going to go to the red column, right click, and choose Format Data Series, and change the gap width back to 0. Now in Excel 2003, you're going to go to the rightmost tab, the Options tab in this dialog box, and use the same setting. That makes all the columns wider because it fills in the gaps. All right, now I want to add data labels, so I'll right click on the red series, add data labels, and we get our numbers. But I don't want those red bars to appear, so I'm going to go into press Control 1 or on the Layout tab, do Format Selection, and we'll change the fill to no fill and the border color to no line. Click Close, and now when we click away, you see that we've actually forced the labels to appear between the columns. Now, I don't like exactly where they are. I'd like them to be kind of at the top of each column. So I went through and really modified the data set with my original data, and then on the next row, with no X label here, had an invisible 1 series and an invisible 2 series. The invisible 1 series is just designed to get the height up a little bit, and then the actual label that I wanted to use. Again, went through the same process of hiding series 2 and hiding series 3, so that way they're invisible, and now we kind of get those labels up a little bit towards the top of the columns. So a couple of different ways to go. It seems like a little bit of work, especially given that that Rob puts his XY chart labeler out there for free. You know, just download that and you're good to go. Either way, if you want to use the add-in. If not, you can use this method here. I want to thank Tamir for sending that question in. I want to thank you for stopping by. We'll see you next time for another Netcast from Mr. Excel.
Well, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time for another Netcast from Mr. Excel.